Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today. As usual, we're going to talk about XRP, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. Once more, here is the one-day chart, and the current price is $2.21. It's good to see XRP trading close to $2.20 once more. All I'm waiting for is for it to begin rising again, so I can see Bitcoin surpass $97K. Will they allow Bitcoin to take its course at last? I'm waiting for that to occur, since XRP will also break out sooner if X is released before Bitcoin. All I can hope for is that Bitcoin reaches another all-time high, confirming that alt season is almost here. Bitcoin will have one final surge before alt season starts. Additionally, I believe that this alternate season will end up being a utility run. The entire value of the cryptocurrency market recovers $3 trillion cents. It should reach between $5 cents and $10 trillion cents, in my opinion. Brad Garlinghouse also anticipates that to occur. We will have to wait a long time to see if this is the move we have been waiting for. It's finally occurring. Rebound signals for April, positive prognosis for cryptocurrency after 3 months of losses. XRP recovers with a 4.98% April recovery. After a recent sharp decline to as low as $2.16, they are now stating that May looks promising. XRP is now holding steady at $2.20 after recovering above significant barrier levels. Could see a significant increase in XRP if the present positive trend continues, and it would align with the current consensus among many that the peak will occur somewhere in July. Some continue to believe that this run will continue into the end of this year. Even the chart experts are all over the place with this run, so nobody really knows what's going to happen next. However, given that Bitcoin is currently rising, it appears like things are beginning to come together. As a friendly reminder, have you ever pondered the source of all these recent $1,000 price projections for XRP? XRP went from 0.005 to $3.84 between April 2017 and January 2018. 64,000% traditional retail FOMO without any justification. We are currently running the 2017 run. Will it happen again? But if we did the same thing based only on retail FOMO and not institution, $2.21 x64% equals 14.440 per XRP. Now consider the usefulness of institutional FOMO. You don't realize how fortunate we are. Will we have another run like 2017? Everyone agrees that this run currently looks exactly like it did in 2017. Again though, things can change as you go. It's also true in the year 2017, we had nothing aiming toward XRP as we do now. We're about to be institutionalized after all. The utility-driven cryptocurrencies will greatly benefit from the XRP ETFs that are currently imminent, as well as new crypto rules and regulatory clarification. Although I'm eager to watch where XRP goes in this run. I still want to exercise caution, since many people are suddenly clamoring for a $55.00 XRP. I'm being quite conservative when I say $20.00 to $30.00. Ripple has just released 3 XRP unlocks from escrow. 300, 300 and 200 million. 800 million XRP have been unlocked in total, and we were aware of the unlock would occur. However, X is surrounded by the same old FUD once more. Observe how Ripple is taking advantage of the XRP community. As you are aware, the majority of this XRP will be locked back, and we will also receive such notifications. Around the world, hardly 1 in 5 people own XRP. You are still early, according to experts. I concur. Even now, I believe that everyone who is investing in XRP is still in the early stages. The fact that we outperform the institutions here, in my opinion, indicates how early you are. He continues, however, by saying that different people also possess different wallets. Additionally, there are many wallets that are simply dormant. Therefore, it might be fewer than 1 in 5,000. Even though just 1 in 3,000 people worldwide own XRP, it still proves that you're ahead of the game. Definitely, I anticipate that at least 10 out of every 5,000 people will eventually own XRP. However, the issue is that many people will be selling their entire bag during this run. Additionally, many people will sell far too quickly. Because the majority of the individuals on the affluent list will be leaving in the upcoming months, I even advise you not to pay any attention to it. The majority of individuals will already be out of XRP as it rises above $10.00. A pundit who is frustrated with XRP discusses why this is the ideal moment to comprehend what you are holding. As a holder of XRP, you must understand the purpose of this cryptocurrency. You must comprehend the magnitude of the network associated with this cryptocurrency. The network has been expanding over the past 10 years and is enormous. And the game is done. As soon as XRP goes online within that network, the majority of people will be priced out very quickly, I promise you. XRP is moving slowly and raising questions. That's what's causing so much annoyance. However, I think this piece concluded well. The cost of being early is patience. The message of resilience is conveyed at the end of the post. The importance of not panicking over the price of XRP is emphasized. It's time to realize what you're actually clutching instead. And I wholeheartedly concur with that. The most crucial quality in crypto is patience. Most folks aren't patient enough to wait for the market to open. And for that reason, more and more people leave XRP whenever the market goes down. However, you will ultimately be rewarded for your patience. And the majority of individuals, units of XRP, I'll either sell a little bit more at these price points or use the remaining ones to generate passive revenue. You should concentrate on that. What will you do, after you sell your entire bag and transfer the proceeds to the bank? You will simply keep working if you don't use that money for yourself. This is Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple. Have you ever wondered why you only get paid once or twice a month? Listen to it. I think you're paid once a month here in Singapore. You get paid once every 2 weeks in the United States. Have you ever wondered why you only get paid once every 2 weeks or once a month? It all boils down to the payment friction. And why can't you get paid every day if we can eliminate the payment friction? Why don't you get paid every hour or every second? That's even more absurd. In your whatever store of value you have, a stream of value might appear. I'm not sure why you need to be paid every second. However, I do believe that many relationships have been based on receiving a paycheck every 2 weeks or every month. Just like we couldn't have foreseen Grab 20 years ago, I believe you're going to see secondary and tertiary impacts that are extremely hard to forecast as we remove the friction of payments and make it drastically easier. I wanted to play the tape since I have a buddy who works as a contractor and is now awaiting payment for completed projects. In other words, he completed the work even though the people didn't have the funds to pay him straight away. But consider this, even if you see the doctor, you may pay while the work is being done if you hire a plumber, contractor, or someone else in the future, particularly for single movie or newspaper item rather than a monthly subscription, since it would be similar to pay-per-view as you go, that would be eliminated. But this is undoubtedly on the horizon, and the reason for this is that they plan to remove the friction associated with payments. Ripple has been working toward that goal since the beginning. However, as I mentioned at the start of this video, we are currently sitting at $2.22. However, I'm also keeping an eye on Bitcoin, which is currently trading at about $97.00 and that gives me the impression that this run might finally get underway, unless the price of Bitcoin plummets once more. After that, we had to wait and see where we would travel. Although it's too soon to make a firm judgment, it appears that Bitcoin is above 95,000 for the first time. For a while, it had trouble rising over that price range. All I want to see is price discovery for XRP. I'm actually waiting for that. Since everyone will need to have XRP at that point, I believe that's when we'll experience the biggest FOMO. But until it does, have patience, maintain your optimism, and let's make money together. That being said, I will now conclude this video. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks to everybody. The next one, we'll see you. Enjoy your evening.